Spider-Man 1944, the TV show, Spider-Man 3, and Sony's Venom. Venom has always been one of Spider-Man's coolest enemies to me, and although Sony's Venom may not feature Spider-Man, I still think he's just as cool. They have their subtle differences that make them unique, which allows people to like certain Venoms over the other. To me personally, I like them all, but Sony's Venom stands out a little bit more to me because obviously he gets his own movie and we get personal time with Venom. But in this video, I will go over all of the similarities and differences between their origin, backstory, personalities, design, and more.
We call ourselves Venom.
They all come from a meteor, and the only difference is in the Venom movie and Spider-Man cartoon, Venom is brought to Earth by astronauts. As their spacecraft is blown up, it lands on Earth because the symbiote broke out and wreaks havoc in the ship. In the Spider-Man cartoon, John Jameson, J. Jonah Jameson's son, finds the symbiote on a meteorite and mines it out and attempts to bring it back to Earth. But as they were landing on Earth, the symbiote broke out and everyone started freaking out, which caused them to crash land on the George Washington Bridge. In Venom, it's the same. They brought the symbiote home from a meteorite. The symbiote broke out and caused them to have a crash landing. There were multiple symbiotes on the ship, but Venom managed to escape, and the other symbiotes, including Riot, are sent back to a lab where the symbiotes are tested on by humans and scientists at the Life Foundation, a company ran by an evil man named Drake, trying to make humans even better and bond with the symbiote so that they can explore space. Spider-Man 3, they didn't even try. It was way more simple than that. It was just a meteor that conveniently landed by Peter Parker from space and it climbed onto his bike as he was driving away. In Spider-Man the cartoon, it was very public information about the astronauts coming back with the material, but the only one everyone knew about was Prometheum X. Nobody knew that a symbiote was coming.
With touchdown imminent, America prepares to greet its newest heroes.
Congratulations, Mr. Jameson.
What are you congratulating me for? I'm just his father.
John's a great guy. You must have had something to do with it.
If you ask me, the apple fell pretty far from the tree.
Kingpin was very interested in Prometheum X, so he sends Rhino to retrieve it from the crash site. Spider-Man also comes to clean up the mess, but he realizes that it's been broken into and he fights Rhino in there as Rhino steals the Prometheum X and Venom gets attached to Spider-Man. Spider-Man just thinks it's goo at first, but he soon realizes what it really is.
Hudson River pollution. Rich, thick, and creamy.
All of the Venoms are symbiotes that require another life form to live.
Food.
Sony's Venom needs a chemical that's only in human brains and chickens in order to continue living. In Spider-Man 3 and the TV show, this isn't the case. They only require a host to continue living. They didn't need to constantly eat people. In all three of these, Venom is able to amplify its host's abilities, making them much stronger and even amplifying their personal feelings and characteristics.
See you, chump. What the hell?
We never see Eddie Brock from Spider-Man 3 really go through any physically or mentally taxing problems when taking on Venom. We do get to see Peter from both have those usual symptoms when bonding with Venom. What we do see though is a boost in his already bad character traits. Egotistical, cocky, jealous, and especially anger. You know, the usual Eddie Brock traits.
See, photography, it's not just about, no offense, flagpoles, whatever.
In Venom, Eddie goes through a lot of mental and physical issues. As Venom fuses with his brain, he can hear him in his thoughts, combining the power of the symbiote and the intelligence of the human brain. Venom is able to take control of Eddie and use him, while with Spider-Man it's the opposite. But we'll get to the Spider-Man in a second. Venom can actually detach from Eddie and talk to him, operating as two separate beings, and they develop a cool relationship with each other. Venom thinks Eddie is a good match, so he doesn't want to detach.
You die, I die.
Yeah, but you can always just shed my carcass and exchange it for another one whenever you need.
Why would I do that? You are far too good of a match to throw away so soon. Plus, I am starting to like you. You and I are not so different.
Spider-Man 3, however, takes huge inspiration from the 1994 cartoon. It happens almost exactly the same. Peter goes to sleep. In the movie, he sleeps with his suit on. In the show, he throws his suit in the closet first. He threw a suit in there because he decided he needed to lay low with Spider-Man from now on after the backlash he received from the media after Eddie Brock lied about him stealing the Prometheum X.
JJ! Brock!
You're not gonna believe this, JJ. I saw Spider-Man stealing something from the shuttle, and I got the pictures to prove it right here.
Spider-Man did it. I'm sure of it. So sure that I'm offering $1 million to anyone who brings him in. $1 million.
In Spider-Man 3, Peter was going through some real-life trauma too. Mary Jane broke up with him and he finds out that Uncle Ben's killer is still alive.
No, I have no intention of settling down. This man killed my uncle, and he's still out there.
He's also late on his rent.
Give me rent. You'll get your rent when you fix this damn door. Give me rent.
And feels guilty about what happened with Harry. But back to the TV show. Venom attaches to Peter and begins bonding with his host. It takes a psychological toll on Spider-Man. When Venom is bonding with Peter, he has a dream about the symbiote and Spider-Man fighting over himself, and eventually Venom wins. In Spider-Man 3, the same thing kind of happens, except Spider-Man is just getting flashbacks instead of seeing Venom and Spider-Man fight over himself, as Venom climbs up his suit. Then he wakes up with the iconic shot of him hanging upside down in front of a building, wondering where the heck he is and where the suit came from.
What a nightmare. For a second, I thought I was going out of my mind.
1994 Spidey was more self-aware and wondering what the heck is going on. When in Spider-Man 3, he kind of just blows it off and says, "This is amazing."
This is something else.
The iconic theme, well, now a meme song, that plays as he looks at his new suit that just looks so freaking sexy. No Diddy.
Nigga, it's 50. Oh, shit. Oh, my God. You alright, bro? I'm good. You sure?
The way the camera turns from upside down is just perfect. Way to improvise on the original and making it even better. Peter from 1994, when he has his Venom suit on, it's a little bit different. He's able to shoot the webbing from the top of his wrist. He specifically says the suit is able to shoot the webbing on its own. I'm not sure what he meant by that.
My webbing! It's shooting out on its own!
And they never really attempt to explain it either. And somehow the suit was also able to disguise itself in other outfits? Sure. Both Spideys bring the symbiote to Dr. Connors, where they give a similar description of how it works.
It seems to like you. Don't let any of that get on you.
Why not?
It has the characteristics of a symbiote, which needs to bond to a host to survive. And sometimes these things in nature, when they bind, they can be hard to unbind. It amplifies characteristics of its host, especially aggression. This could be dangerous. Peter, you didn't keep any, did you? Peter?
No, of course not.
It's got cell structure. The nuclei are even dividing.
That's what I was afraid of. It's alive, isn't it?
As alive as you or me. Now I'll add a molecule chain from that suit of yours.
They're bonding.
It's replicating and mutating the molecular structure of its own DNA. It's actually improving on the host organism. It's a symbiote, an organism that thrives by bonding with another. But not only does the suit bond, in time it replaces. I'd almost be willing to say that this piece of material is a sentient creature.
You mean it thinks?
Where do you think you're going? You've got to get that suit off!
I can't, not yet. There's some things I have to take care of first.
Get rid of it!
I need it!
The only thing I can say all three symbiotes have in common, and specifically Venom, is that they're all very selfish. They are going to eventually take over the body, but Sony's Venom stands out from this as he likes Eddie Brock. So he decides to not suck the entire life force out of him. Now we're going to get to Eddie Brock in a second, but I want to focus on strictly the things with Venom right now. Venom from Sony is from his own planet in the Venom movie. He says he used to be a loser where he's from, and that's why he wants to stay on planet Earth, because him and Eddie are very alike. We don't really develop these personal relationships with Venom and the other Spider-Men. I mean, we get a little bit of it in the TV show.
The symbiote that Peter Parker tried to destroy, Eddie Brock has embraced. We bond and separate. We're made for each other. Brock's rage and vengefulness made us a perfect breeding ground. Far better than you, Parker. We're now part of a life force that has existed since the dawn of time. We've seen thousands of worlds, millions of civilizations, learned many secrets, always with but one goal above all else: to survive. And now we're sharing those secrets with Eddie Brock. We're very happy together.
And then there's Venom's design. As far as my favorite Spider-Man symbiote suit, hands down, this is easy. It goes to Spider-Man 3. Spider-Man 3's suit is also already really nice, but when you just add the black and the white lining, the silver lining on the suit, it just has such a high quality look and feel to it. And seeing all the woven fabric detail just gives it that edge on that visually pleasing, aesthetically pleasing look. The 1994 suit is dope too. I love the silk black clean look. Then the big all white Spider-Man logo that sort of wraps around his ribs. If they could have put that logo on the new Venom from Sony, oh man, that would have been sick. Perfect. Sony got everything right with their Venom design though, especially his size. Then his eyes and mouth are just like they should be, just like from the original comics. That big, bulky, freakish Venom is exactly what I want to see. Spider-Man 3 though, it was kind of a failure, you know. When I watched that as a kid, I was kind of underwhelmed because I knew what to expect from Venom, at least with how he's supposed to look with Eddie Brock. My only assumption is that they couldn't afford the budget because they really boomed the budget with Sandman and that CGI, which was pretty good for its time and very expensive. Or maybe it was a creative decision. Overall, it was just kind of a disappointing design and probably the weakest design of all the actual Venom suits. He just doesn't look really menacing enough. And Eddie Brock with those sharp teeth, and the sharp teeth when Venom covers his face, is still just not very intimidating or scary. The positive I could take from this is the suit is okay, but I like the way that the Venom suit attaches to his face when he wants to bring Eddie Brock out. All Venoms have the same exact weakness though. Their weaknesses are loud sounds. According to the Sony movie, anything between 4,000 and 6,000 hertz.
Sound at 4 to 6,000 hertz is lethal.
Sorry. Sound frequency in MRI is really harmful for him.
What, so sound is like his kryptonite?
Not all sounds.
And fire!
And their other weakness is simply fire. Pretty simple, not much to really say about that. They all lose their fights the exact same way.
Aloha!
We have main engine ignition.
The noise! What have you done? You tricked us!
The symbiote off Brock.
I guess you could say Spider-Man 3 was slightly different because Eddie Brock detaches from Venom because of the sound and then throws himself back in when Spider-Man goes to blow him up with one of Goblin's bombs, so Eddie Brock and Venom die together. Eddie Brock was just a cocky photographer in Spider-Man 3. Not much more to him. We didn't get to spend a lot of time with him. He wanted to take Parker's job as the photographist and journalist for the Daily Bugle. He also had a girlfriend, but that didn't really have much impact on him in the movie besides him losing her later. You know, because Eddie just always has to be the one that loses everything to Peter Parker, so that was just another one they decided to tack on there.
Spider-Man. Everywhere I turn, he's in my way. He cost me my job, my reputation, my health, my apartment.
Maybe that was just to replace the apartment he always loses.
You made me lose my girl. Now I'm gonna make you lose yours.
In Venom, he's a reporter with his own show, and he's way more level-headed. And since he doesn't have Spider-Man to take away everything from him in this universe, he kind of just self-sabotages. He's overall a good man, though, who uses his reporting skills to expose the corrupt people and companies. In the cartoon, he's also a journalist and photographer, but he was fired by the Daily Bugle once Peter Parker exposes him for using Flash in a Spider-Man suit, then uses those photos for the Daily Bugle. But the day the astronauts crash landed, Eddie Brock was conveniently there to claim Spider-Man stole something when he was really just trying to stop Rhino from stealing the symbiote in Prometheum X. J. Jonah Jameson shows up at the bridge to make sure his son is okay when Eddie Brock asks for his job back.
Just give me my old job back, JJ, and these pictures are yours.
I'll take them, Brock. I finally got that wall-crawling sack of garbage.
This Eddie was actually pretty buff too. Eddie reports to the Daily Bugle in all the Spider-Man universes except for Sony's. In Venom, he reports to the Daily Globe. That just doesn't even sound right, but obviously because of the copyright and property issues between Sony and Marvel, which I find very annoying. Peter gets Brock fired in both the cartoon and the movie. In Venom, he just gets himself fired. Eddie has always been destined to lose everything. His girlfriend, his job, his apartment, and in the cartoon, they say his health. I guess we can just call this his mental health too in the newer movies. In the Venom movie, instead of losing everything because of Peter, he loses it because he tried to expose a corrupt company named the Life Foundation. Every Eddie is just destined to make these mistakes. And he lost his girlfriend, Annie, because she worked for the Life Foundation and he went and snooped through her confidential files and got her fired. Their foes are completely different. Venom from Sony only fights other symbiotes, and I guess you can say he fought against a huge company. Venom is not necessarily a bad symbiote, just kind of an anti-hero in the Sony universe, unlike Riot, who's from the same planet as him. Eddie allows Venom to only eat bad people. Spider-Man 3's Venom is just straight up evil. I just want to mention really quick though that Spider-Man was fighting like 3 or 4 villains at the same time. Shocker, Venom, and Rhino. Same with Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. He was fighting Sandman, the Hobgoblin, and Venom. One special ability from the Spider-Man TV show, the ability to make Spider-Man not be able to sense him with his spider sense.
Run! Surprise! They never triggered my spider sense.
He seems to be the only Venom with this ability, but anyways, Eddie antagonizes Peter and messes with him because of the fact that he knows who he is. He's using it as blackmail to tease him and mess with him. He tortures Peter until he's forced to come up with a plan to beat him by antagonizing him and leading him on a chase until he falls into his trap. He uses the sound of a rocket ship to detach the symbiote and catch it, then throwing it on the ship to send it back to space. But Peter had to get the symbiote off himself by using a bell. It gets passed on to Eddie Brock, and it's almost exactly the same with the movie and TV show. The only difference is Eddie Brock praying to God that he kills Spider-Man. In the TV show, Eddie is there to get revenge on Spider-Man, but it backfires when Spider-Man catches him and hangs him in a web. In Spider-Man 3, he beats Venom by using loud noises. But Riot isn't affected by that at all, and neither is Venom, and Venom just blows him up while he's taking off into space, which is kind of an underwhelming ending. Hey, but at least Eddie gets to live from the Venom movie and along with the Spider-Man TV show. But let me not talk so soon, because we have yet to see Sony's Venom's fate. His movie comes out later this year. The beauty of all of this is that both movies draw great inspiration from the sources, which are the comics and the TV show. In the TV show, Venom does come back with Carnage, and they even end up working together, but you guys can let me know if you want to see that movie comparison. But until then, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Peace.
Right. I give up. I'd rather go to jail than to be a snitch.
Who said anything about jail?
Huh? I don't get it.
It's like this. I'm through with not getting what I want. I give up trying to be a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Shocker! You can't escape me! I'll chase you to the ends of the earth!